Now, the Padres and Cubs, they tee it up tomorrow at 12:08 and on Wednesday at 12:08. And then we'll wait and see what happens with the other series. They may change if there's a game three necessary. They may change that more into prime time. I feel bad for a lot of kids that are Padres fans. Unless they got nice teachers at school, these kids are going to miss the damn game. And that's not right. Kids that want to watch baseball, and even kids that don't want to watch baseball, may be interested at this time of year. And I remember when I was a kid at Earl Warren Junior High School or San Diego High School or Torrey Pines, when Torrey opened, our teachers, they were still playing day games. I mean, people forget that the World Series used to always be, pretty much day games. And then they went to night and, people got to see it. But our teachers were nice enough at Earl Warren, San Diego, and Torrey Pines that they would wheel a TV into the classroom. Not every classroom, believe it or not, for you younger fans, had TVs. I mean, it was like a big production to get a TV brought to your room. And I remember watching that Cincinnati Baltimore series when Brooks Robinson made all those incredible plays down the third baseline, throwing runners out at first base. I watched that in Mr. Williams' class when I was at Earl Warren, when I was like ninth grade. I mean, fantastic. I feel bad for the kids, their parents, they take them to the ballpark. The kids are wearing their Padre jerseys all the time to school, and they're not going to be able to watch Manny or Tatis or whoever their favorite player is. So that kind of sucks. That kind of sucks. Okay, now I want to get into the Cubs a little bit. Cubs got a good ball club, and they're dangerous, though. I mean, they're dangerous from the standpoint. They got a lot of power. The fans, I don't know if you've ever been to Wrigley Field. I've been to Wrigley Field when they played the Padres in just a regular season game. It didn't go well for the Padres. It was only a brief two-game set many years ago, and they got boat race both games. I mean, it wasn't good. And I remember I met Ron Santo over at Bernie's, which was really a cool play. They got Bernie's, they got the Cubby Beer, they got Murphy Bleachers, they got all kinds of bars and restaurants. It's unbelievable. I got to tell you, even if you didn't go there for a pod racer, you just went there to watch baseball, whether it's the Cubs and Cardinals or Cubs and Dodgers, Cubs and Giants, whoever. If you're a baseball fan, try to get to Wrigley Field. Try to get to Wrigley Field. I stayed for 3 days and I had to come home to get some sleep. I mean, that city is amazing. I ate at Jordan's restaurant. I ate at Harry Carey's restaurant back in the day. But I got to meet Ron Santo. He was cooking a hamburger over at Bernie's, where I had a few beers after a game. He's out there in his trench coat cooking a hamburger and hanging out with the fans. I mean, that's pretty cool. When the broadcaster of your ball club, who eventually became a Hall of Famer, he's cooking hamburgers and talking to the fans after after a Cubs win. Pretty cool. It's a really neat atmosphere. The ballpark is unbelievable, old. I mean, just reeks history, and the fans really get into it. Really get into it. So it's going to be a really good series because the Cubs have not played as well since the All-Star break as they did before. I mean, before the All-Star break, they were just on fire. And they would have probably won the division, but they just weren't able to get the job done. Now, couple of things. You look at the Cubs, and I'm kind of saying to myself right now, Padres can win this series. You know, at the All-Star break, it was probably kind of up in the air, probably maybe even lean to the Cubs a little bit. But I'm telling you, the Padres can beat these guys. And the thing that really helps, and hey, you know what? We've had our fair share of injuries here in San Diego this year. Obviously, Musgrove missed the entire year. Kings missed considerable amount of time. You, Darvish, and we could go on. And Jason Adams gone for the remainder of the year. But the Cubs losing the rookie right-hander, Cade Horton, that could be the deciding factor, quite frankly, in this series. Cade Horton was having an incredible year, 11-4 with a 2.67 in 118 innings. Last week, this is kind of a weird story. Last week, he's not feeling well, been coughing a lot, and he goes out and he starts the game against Cincinnati. They take him out after 2 innings, and they found out like he had a rib fracture from coughing so much and coughing so hard. So he's out in an indefinite period. He's not pitching. He won't be on the playoff roster. So they haven't announced, and I know they'll announce it later today. They're either going to go with left-hander Matthew Boyd or probably maybe Jameson Taillon, or our old buddy Colin Ray. Colin Ray had a pretty good year, 11-7 and a 3.95. Jameson Taillon 11-7 and a 3.68. Boyd was 14-8 with a 3.21. I mean, all their pitchers. We're looking at Padre pitchers, starting pitchers, going, God, they don't have, Darvish didn't have a winning record. Cease doesn't have a winning record. Randy Vasquez doesn't have a winning record. Pivetta does and King does, but he hadn't pitched a whole lot. But all the starters for the Cubs have winning records. So that tells you a couple of, number one, they're pretty good. Number two, they're going deeper into ball games to shorten their bullpen. And all of them, ERA are fantastic. Matthew Boyd's 14-8 with a 3.21. Left-hander, he can be really, really tough. I would think he might start game one. But with Cade Horton out, they're going to have to make a decision. Shota Imanaga did not pitch well the other day in his final outing in the regular season against the New York Mets. Got beat up pretty good. He is prone to the home run ball from time to time. Likes to pitch up in the zone a little bit. Another big factor in the series is the wind blowing in or out from left field. That's all just, that's the first thing Randy Jones used to say when he pitched in Chicago and he knew he was pitching that day. First thing he did when he got out of bed before he got a cup of coffee was look out the window. Which way's the wind blowing? So that could play a part in it. Cubs got a lot of power. Michael Busch, the former Dodger, 261, 34 homers, 90 RBIs. Nico Horner finished second in the National League in hitting, 297. Not a lot of power, 7 homers, 61 RBIs. Very, very good keystone player up the middle. Dansby Swanson, 24 bombs, 77 RBIs. Matt Shaw, he was in the news. He attended Charlie Kirk's funeral, and Gary Cohen of the New York Mets, their play-by-play guy, took a shot at the kid. I don't know why you take a shot at a kid going to a funeral of a friend, but anyways, he took a shot at him. He got 13 bombs. Ian Happ, 23 homers, 79 RBIs. Pete Crow Armstrong, who had a great first half, has really slowed down a great deal in the second half. Finished with 31 homers, 95 RBIs, and 35 stolen bases. They steal even more bases than the Padres do. How about Seiya Suzuki? He ended up with 32 bombs and 103 RBIs. Kyle Tucker coming back from that calf. 22 homers, 73 RBIs. Quite frankly, what he's at full strength, he's one of the best players in baseball. He's going to be a free agent, going to make a ton of money. Carson Kelly, remember him way back when he broke in with the Arizona Diamondbacks? Well, never been much of an offensive player, but this year he slugged 17 bombs and drove in 50. So, and their bullpen is better. Daniel Placencia, they brought in Andrew Kittredge at the trade deadline. Their bullpen's pretty good. Not as good as the Padres or as deep, but pretty doggone good. This is going to be a really, really good series. And I'm hoping the Padres can find a way out. I hope it's not 2-0 in barbecue for the Padres. Now, we know Pivetta's going the first game. There's talk that Dylan Cease is going to go the second game. Remember, I've been saying for 2 weeks now that I would go with Pivetta, King, and Cease. And Dylan had a really good September, really pitching well right now. Whether it's King or whether it's, I don't care. You can't start, in my opinion, Yu Darvish. I'd like your opinion on that. And I don't want to knock Yu Darvish, and I'm not going to knock Yu Darvish. But I got to go with a guy that's got more swing and miss. I don't need a finesse pitcher. And that's what Darvish is now. He's more of a finesse pitcher. And the thing about the Cubs, if you pay attention to the Cubs, I don't know how many of you watch Cub games. I do, because I'm home a lot, working on things. And if game's on, I always have it on in the background. They don't swing out of the zone a whole lot. They make you pitch. And they're not going to be easy outs. They may swing early in the count, but for the most part, they're not going to swing at balls out of the strike zone. And Darvish, is, at this point in time of his career, is more of a finesse guy. So I think more than anything else, you've got to go with the power. You got to go with the swing and miss guy. Go with the swing and miss guy. And I'm telling you, you may catch lightning in a bottle with Dylan. See, he's throwing the ball pretty well. And Pavetta's had a good year. I mean, Nick's had a really good year. You know what's interesting? If you go to the matchups of these two teams, they played 6 games. They were all in the month of April, and they split the 6 games. Both teams scored exactly 25 runs. So, but both teams are different. Padres are a little bit different. Doggone, it's so bad that Laureano can't play. And I think Ramon's done. I think even if the Padres got to the World Series, I don't think he's playing. I think, they're just kind of sugarcoating it, saying, well, he's hoping, and he's hoping too. It's not going to happen. Not going to happen. The other thing that we got to find out is Elias Diaz going to be on the postseason roster. He looked like he tweaked an oblique the other night. And there was nothing reported after the game. Okay. After the game on Saturday night, yes, but yesterday, nobody said, hey, is Martin Maldonado, who after he got released, remember he got DFA'd and he got released, nobody picked him up. He re-signed with the Padres a minor league contract. So the Padres have Martin Maldonado. Now you could bring up Luis Camposano, but he was 0 for the season, even though he led the Pacific Coast League in like almost every offensive category. Guy couldn't get a hit in a Padres uniform. I would imagine he's going to be dealt during the offseason. I mean, I would think he'd want to be dealt. He needs a fresh start, Luis Camposano. So I'm assuming, unless Diaz made an amazing recovery or just had a cramp the other night, not an oblique injury, that I would imagine Martin Maldonado is going to be on the playoff roster. I was a little surprised yesterday that Freddie Fermin caught that final game. I mean, a foul tip and he could have been out. I mean, I would have put anybody but Freddie Fermin back there yesterday, but I'm not managing the ball club. But one foul tip and Fermin's out. And Freddie's been a tremendous upgrade. He's given you a little bit offensively. Definitely done a better job behind the plate, throwing guys out. I mean, and he's under control for an extended period of time. So the Padres are sitting in pretty good shape right there. Luis Arraez will go into the postseason with a 14-game hitting streak. You know what's interesting? We're sitting here, we're all excited. It's a Monday. We're hoping for the best. But by the time I come on the air on Friday, we could be talking about the Padre offseason. They got to get it going. They got to win 2 out of 3. Win 2 out of 3. And then Friday, we're going to be clicking our heels and getting ready for the NLDS, going against the Milwaukee Brewers. I got news for you. We can beat the Brewers. And I'm not saying that just because of what we saw last week, because that Brewers team, they took their foot off the gas pedal. That wasn't a good indicator of the Milwaukee Brewers when they came last week. They took their foot off the gas pedal. They'd had a party the night before. Everybody's excited. But Padres came out, did what they needed to win to try to keep the heat on the Dodgers, and they did that. But you got to find a way to get 2 out of 3, because I don't want to be coming on here on Friday bitching, moaning, and complaining, talking about, what's going to go on during the Padres offseason. Because once they get beat and eliminated, hopefully they win the final game. Hopefully they win 13 games. You need to win 13 games to win the damn World Series. And I'm not even going to talk about a parade down Harbor Boulevard. I'm just not going to do that, because we've done that before and it hadn't gotten us anywhere.